This video is brought to you by Toys-R-Us UK. Use promo code TurtleTalk upon checkout and receive up to 10% off of these selected lines. That's promo code TurtleTalk. Link is in the description. Hey, what's going on, toy fan? Project Piper Customs here, and welcome back to a new episode of the new series Toy Photography, a Beginner's Guide. If that's something that interests you, if you're a collector but feel like you want to do more with it, you just don't know where to start, then I would really encourage you for you to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can stay up to date with all the other videos that I'll have coming out for this series. And in this episode, we're going to be comparing the differences between a phone camera and a DSLR. Okay, so there's one big burning question that always stumps new beginners and starters into this hobby before they even had a chance to shoot anything is, do I need a big fancy DSLR camera in order to take good toy photography? And the answer is no, you don't. Will it help you improve your toy photography? 100% yes, absolutely. That's a no-brainer right there, but you do not need one in order to take great toy photography. This will do you just fine. Okay, and I'm going to be covering things that you can do with both of these, so those of you who own one of these already, you're not going to be left out. I haven't forgotten about you at all, but I do want to help encourage those who are thinking about starting off that don't have one of these, and what you can do with your phone, because these are essentially, if you do not have one, they are an investment. I would highly encourage you to invest in one because it will change the game of your toy photography. There's no doubt about that at all. But for now, if you just want to give it a go, get some practice in, get yourself off the bench and get yourself on the grind, your phone will do just fine. Okay, and I'll hopefully have some running parallels, and we'll go over the differences in this video. All right, so let's just put him aside over there. Right, let's have a look at the phone. Okay, so this is just a Galaxy, it's a Samsung Galaxy A51. I don't know what serial numbers mean these days, but basically, yeah, this is just your standard Android Galaxy phone. Okay, and in this one particular has like 4 cameras at the back there, a bit mental, but you know, one's just enough. But yeah, so this, I mean, the phone itself, cameras are getting better on phones every time they put a new one out. Okay, the more features on them, as you can see here, there's more of them for a start, so they're just getting better and better. Okay, so we're into the phone right now, and as you can see, we're into the camera portion. All right, I'm not sure if you're using an iPhone, if the camera layout is any different, but it's roughly, I can imagine, pretty much the same, just maybe things in different areas. All right, so here we have our aspect ratio. 16:9 is your standard frame rate here. You know, that would be a standard YouTube thumbnail, and you know what's more favored is this ratio here. But the great thing with this is that you can change your ratio. Okay, you can go to, now that's the flash pen. You can go to 4.3, which will bring it down to this size, or even if you want to go Instagram friendly, okay, you can go 1:1, so you can just have your shots straight onto Instagram. Okay, because I know the camera in the Instagram app isn't the best. Okay, but if you wanted to take an aspect ratio for Instagram, then you can do so via this, via the camera on your phone. Okay, or you can go full, which will turn the whole thing. Look at that. There you go. Not a single area hidden. We're going to keep it at 16:9 for now. All right, and just going to kill it here. Now, when you're using your phone, the number one thing you need to do before you start off, and I forget to do so, is clean the lenses on your camera. Because if it's been in your pocket, or if you're a lady, if it's been in your bag, or if you've been handling it, it's going to get fingerprints on, like as you can see here. Okay, as human beings are filthy creatures. Okay, so do give this a wipe, and yeah, it won't look so smudgy. Okay, so if we close the phone down for now, and let's just quickly have a look at the camera here. And this camera here is an older model. Okay, this is a Canon 450D. All right, and this is one I had way before we were doing this hobby of toy photography. So this is an older model. Okay, so there are far better models out there, and I am looking to invest in a newer camera somewhere down the line. But so far, this is serving me quite well. All right, I do have a memory card in here, and that's one thing. Even with your phone, if you're going to use a phone or a camera, I suggest you get yourself a memory card. Okay, especially for DSLR. If I can get that back in. but more so with the phone as well, so you don't eat up the internal memory. Okay, and also then you can transfer any shots that you have from the memory card onto, say, your laptop via a reader, or even put it into a tablet if you have a similar tablet. If you're using an iPhone, obviously you get internal memory built in and no external memory. But if you have an Android and you have the capacity for external memory, then I highly advise you get a new memory card. It'll just save your internal memory like you wouldn't believe. Okay, but going back to the camera, okay, so if we pop that off right here and then we power it on, it's got a big old strap that's going to get in the way. Okay, viewfinder needs a bit of a clean. As I say, it is old. Okay, there she goes. Alright, so we can chuck it on, and you see it's quite dark. Now I've got it zoomed out like that. Okay, so let's brighten you up a bit. Okay. Alright, so this is kind of the aspect ratio you're working with. Unfortunately, with this model, I can't change the aspect ratio. It's just set on this one, unfortunately. But you do have multitude more settings to play with. Okay, as you can see here, we have white balance. Okay, and we can go from fluorescent, or we can go for flash, custom, also daylight, which you'll see it's giving that warm hue. Okay. We can have shade, cloudy. If we go back to what it was on tungsten, which is giving it that blue. Okay, so these are just some of the things that you can play with if you're using a DSLR. We're going to get more into camera settings further down into the series. I just wanted to give you a brief overview. Now with this, for myself, I have it on manual focus. Manual focus is by far the best way to get the crispest shot. Unfortunately, you do not have that option on many phones, but you do get some good focus on them. Okay, so let me just power this down. All right, let's just pop the cap back on, so let's smudge the lens. Okay, so one of the, obviously the main differences between this and the phone is obviously this has a vast array of settings that you can control and adjust to you know, to influence your shot. But that doesn't mean that this doesn't have settings also. It has not as many, but some quite a few different ones, and we just want to explore some right now. Okay, so you have your obvious ones. Obviously you have your video, you have your live focus, you can change your aspect ratios, what we showed before, timer, flash. If you go up here to this one, all right, you have filters down here, and you can scroll through a whole selection of filters, a bit like an Instagram, but you can do it before you've even taken the shot. So it manipulates the camera instead of the actual picture. Okay, you have beauty, we turn that on, and obviously you have this one here, you have tone, and a whole bunch of others. Let me just go back to that because I didn't realize I accidentally killed it. So let me go to the top there, go to beauty. Okay, yeah, so we've got tone, and we have jawline. So I guess this is when it's detecting people, eyes, and so on and so forth. Okay, so if we come back out of that, and if we go to more, and here we have a bunch of others. So we've got pro, we've got panorama, which is obviously if you do the whole thing and it will give you a big stretch light. You've got macro, you've got food. They're actually giving you a camera setting for food. Okay. Nighttime, super slow-mo, slow motion, and hyperlapse. Now, I don't really know what most of these do, but that is where you come in. Okay, I'm not going to be able to walk you through every single one of the settings. Learning the settings on either your phone or on the camera, depending on which one you have, is something that is up to you. You need to know your device inside out. I can only give you some of the basics, but if you really want to improve and you master your settings, that is something you will have to do on your own. Okay, so with these, they will be instructed to you to learn and play with and experiment. All right. But for now, we're going to keep it on some basic settings. Okay, next I would like to talk to you about what you see in front of you, and that is the tripod. Okay, now this I would classify as essential for either the DSLR or your mobile phone. 100% reason is so it will keep your device stable, so your hands are free in case you need to actually hold some handheld lights anywhere, or for anything else. Okay, so if you're not holding the phone or the camera, and also you're guaranteed, you know, some stillness, you're not going to get any movement whilst it's on this, and yeah, you'll get a much crisper picture. Now this is a desk one, this is a Gorilla one, and obviously this one in particular has bendy appendages, so you can get low like so. Okay, or you can have him quite tall and high, like so. Okay, now you can either get one like this, which is this length, or I'm going to do a little bit of camera magickery. 2 seconds. Okay, right, so are you ready? Let me flip it around. Woo, hello, it's me. Right, okay, so you see this? I'm using this phone to record you on, but you see this bit here? Alright, that's the attachment. It's really hard to do. That's the attachment that will go on the end of this, right here, and that will hold your phone currently being used on the tripod, which is right here. So this is the tripod. This is one of the big ones with telescopic legs. Let me flick you back round. Okay, I'll pop you down here now. So yeah, so you can either have this size or you can have a big long one with telescopic legs, and they go for a pretty good prices on Amazon as well. They're not expensive whatsoever, and you can, you know, if you're working on a desk like I am, or a bench, ideally that would be one preferable one. Or if you really want to get in close, or if you're working off of the floor and you've got your display raised via some books or boxes, that's a great part about this toy photography display, and you can use anything around you to help aid in your shot. Okay, and you can use one of these just on the floor. You can either have it tilting, you know, down like this, and you know, you've also got your adjustments like so you can move it in any desired angle you want. Okay, so 100% I would guarantee, I would really suggest getting a set of these or a set of the tall ones, and yeah, it will just off the gate immediately improve your toy photography, which is what I didn't have before when I started mine. I was doing everything freehand. Okay, so that is definitely one thing I would recommend. Okay, and to demonstrate that point, I will be taking a freehand shot of my Arkham Batman and my Arkham Deathstroke, okay, using both the DSLR and obviously the phone camera. So let's have a look with the phone camera right now. All right, so let's have a look, shall we? Let's just get them into frame, like so. Get a good focus on, bring the brightness down slightly, and bosh. Okay, let's have a look at that. All right. And as you can see, it's picked it up really well. Okay, I do have 3 lights on them currently. Okay, I do have 3 lights currently going. So I have one desk lamp here, I have another one here, and of course I have this one which is just being clipped to my shelf above, and that's aiming light over there on the backdrop. So backdrop light over here, on them here, and coming down from behind as well. Okay, and we're going to get into the lighting and light placement later on down the series. Okay, but as advised in part 1, the one part that I would highly invest in before you even invest in the DSLR camera is definitely some desktop lamps. Okay, so that was with the phone camera, and let's see how we do freehand with the DSLR. And obviously I have some manual focus, so this will be fun. Okay, let's get out of the way. Let's zoom right out. Okay, let's see if we can get about there. It's not going to be perfect. Okay, and let's see how we do. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. But as you can see with the aspect ratio, obviously you don't get as much room. You are confined with just the one aspect ratio on this model in particular. Obviously with other models you can adjust it. But yeah, so that ain't too bad at all. So that was freehand. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount both onto the trusty giant tall tripod. And then I'm going to take a still focus shot of each using the camera and the phone, and I'm going to display both of them side by side so you can see the difference between the two. Okay, so let's do that now. Okay, so I've got you freehand at the moment. I just want to take you around the back of the DSLR, sorry, of the shots. I've got them zoomed in. I've got them pretty much centered there. So I want to flick you onto the settings now. All right, so just hit that. So what we have is an f-stop at 9, at 125. All right, and I'll go over what all of these can do. Just these basic ones that we have here on the screen down the line. But we've got it on manual focus. So if I switch it back, and the white balance is, I have it on tungsten for now. Oh no, white fluorescent. Sorry, I have it on white fluorescent. Okay, but that's the settings I have at the moment. So if we flick it back, I'm going to zoom into Deathstroke's head, and we're going to adjust the focus. See, that's out. That's out. So that sweet spot that we passed, that's where we want it. So that's out. So you want it about there. And if you can, you always want to focus on the eye. All right, not the mask, not the nose, if anything, on the eye, and it will be a focus line. Okay, so those two are pretty much in the same area. All right, so they're, both of them should be in focus. If he was forward, I would have to readjust my settings in order to get them both in focus. Whereas if I moved him forward or back, and I still have my focus on Deathstroke, he would be the only one then shot in focus. Okay, so there is always that focus line. Okay, but you know, depend on your settings in order to how much of the foreground and background you'll be able to capture in focus too. Okay, but it looks like we're all set to go. All right, so we just kick back out of here, and yeah, all we've got to do is hit the button and go. Okay, got you free-handed again, because now we're going to go with the phone. And as you can see, because the cameras are right at the top here, obviously it's giving you an angle down from up here. So in order to take the shot, I'm going to have to adjust the tripod, get it lowered down a bit, and moved over, so I can get them in sort of the same style as the one before. But yeah, just to give you an idea, and obviously you've got a lot wider aspect ratio. Let's try and change that. So if we go 4.3, that might give us a better aspect ratio, something similar to what we had with the digital camera. Okay, but yeah, let's just get this set up and we're good to go. Okay, so I think I've got it just about where we had the digital camera. All right, just there. I've got the aspect ratio on. All right, so if I focus, and what I'm also going to do is I'm going to lower the brightness slightly, just about there. Okay, so some of that colour will pop. And yeah, I think we're good to go. It's just focused in, so let's take the picture. All right. Alright, and there you have it. You have one shot from the phone camera, one shot from the DSLR, and I even went ahead and took one from the phone camera that I'm actually recording this on. You know, so you've got a wide spectrum there of two different models of phone and a DSLR. And yeah, so you can see the difference. But yeah, as I say, you can take some really great shots, and I see them being taken now with your phone camera. But definitely make sure, because obviously it is a smaller lens, the bigger lens on the DSLR can take in more light. Obviously it's much bigger, so it can absorb all that light a bit better, where you have the smaller lens for the phone camera, so you just need to fill that scene with as much light as possible in order to get that as sharp a focus as that the camera will allow. Okay, so it's one little nugget of advice to give you. But yeah, so next episode, these are going to be hitting weekly. As I say, you've got these two straight off the gate, but from now on they're going to be hitting weekly, and that we're going to be covering posing and framing, and that's when we're going to get into some dynamic, not so dynamic, but dynamic framing and posing. All right, so you get a good look in insight into different camera angles and how you can make a shot look like something straight out of a comic book. Alright, so look forward to that, and I say, if that interests you and if you've enjoyed it so far, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and please like this video as well. Be sure to tune into our live shows that I host. We're on Saturdays, Total Talk, where we cover news, we do movie watch-alongs, and we have guests on sometimes as well, so it's a good laugh, and we just chop it up about what's going on in the world of action figures and pop culture and mainstream. So yeah, it's really fun. I'd be really grateful if you came along and joined us for that. And yeah, don't forget, obviously, with Toys-R-Us UK, use our promo code TurtleTalk upon checkout and you receive up to 10% discount on selected lines, and you'll see those lines right now on the screen. And yeah, that's all the plugs. I hope you've enjoyed this so far, guys, and yeah, look forward to the next one. So yeah, if you're along for the journey, it's only just begun. And see you then, guys. Take care.